Hello everybody and welcome to this episode of Show Up, Stand Out, online visibility series for entrepreneurs. My name is Juliet Stapleton. I'm a visibility strategist and today I bring you a money harmony coach, Suze Maclaine, Pont, all the way from Netherlands. Hi Suze.
Hi Juliet.
How are you today?
I am wonderful. I'm having a fabulous day.
I know, because I've been following you today a lot. Guys, Suze is doing something absolutely extraordinary. She's actually running a challenge that helps people overcome certain beliefs that we have and that stop us from achieving our success. But Suze will tell you all about it in her own words and throughout this interview. And I just want to get much more people joining this. So after we finish, we're going to have the link to join the challenge, and it's only day 2, so you can catch up. It's absolutely worth it. Suze, just before we go forward, for those people who don't know you, just in short, just who you are and how did you come to do what you do?
Okay, well, I'll give you the short version. So I am originally a shipbuilder and a first mate on tall ships. So I've been a sailor and a shipbuilder for the first 25 years of my life. Well, anyway, I loved everything that floats more than anything that doesn't float. And at a certain point, I was, of course, in a job like everybody, and I was really having a hard time being employed because all of a sudden I had to do what other people asked me to do, but it wasn't necessarily good for the clients of those other people. So I wanted to work for the clients and help them. That was what I was doing. And my boss was consistently saying I should do it in a different way or in a different whatever. And after 9 months of being employed, I was like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm quitting. So in the middle of a big crisis, I quit my job and set up my first company. And at that point, everybody was like, you're crazy. It's a crisis here. We're losing our jobs and you are voluntarily quitting. Why? And I said, because I'm good at what I do and I have 3 months of money in the bank, and that's a lot. I really thought that was a lot of money. So I thought I can oversee 3 months, and it's got to be easy to find somebody to help out in 3 months. So I just had this belief in myself that I had something of value to offer, and I was just going to do it anyway. So I quit my job at 25 and I started my own company, and that company skyrocketed. So in the first 5 years, I quadrupled my revenue. And I thought, and while I was sailing for 5 months of the year, so I thought, freedom is easy. I don't know why everybody's making such a big thing out of it. And then at 30, I got pregnant, and that was very unexpected because I thought I was infertile. And all of a sudden, I had a baby, and the baby's dad left me 2 months in the pregnancy. So I was a single mom with a baby and a company. And then I finally understood that there were some things that were a little bit different when you have a baby. So all of a sudden, I had to, I was breadwinner, I had a company, I had a baby, but all those nice, interesting, high-paying projects required me to be present 4 months, 7 days a week, and then I could take 2, 3 months off. But I could not spread that evenly, and I could not put my kid in daycare, and I did not want my mom to live with me. So all these things led to, I have to figure out a different way to go by this money, and I don't know how. So very short version is that in the years after that, I only had one thing, and that was, I do not want to make the compromise that life is requiring me. I don't believe it's necessary. I just have not figured out how to do it. So in the 6 years after that, I figured out why I was making the compromise, why it was not necessary at all. And I started gradually changing. And then I ended up with over 50,000 euros in debt. And then at a certain point, I understood why this was all happening. And then in 18 months, I changed everything. And now my life is, I work 24 hours a week, and I have a fabulous life, making very good money again because I cracked the code. So that's my story.
I love it.
And that's what I teach people. So that's basically the very short version.
I can relate to the story because I have been there in many cases, but I did make a couple of errors. I let my mom live with me while I was a single mother.
How was that?
I love my mom to bits, but it was difficult because my mom loves children, small children, a lot.
Yes.
So I felt at some stage, even though I got my freedom back and I got my almost single life back, my mom took over completely. But
I
I
have the same
do
kind of
see
mom.
like I completely lost connection. Not connection. We have a very strong bond with my daughter, who is now 18, and she turned out very well. But you know, there was a feeling like I am an elder sister to this child rather than a mother. So my mom took over, and that eventually created huge cracks. And you know, that was something that I wouldn't want to have, because we used to have really good relationships with my mom. Now we have good relationships with my mom because of this. But that's just what happens, and we all have our own things, you know, and so there's no one to blame. But then, you know, it's an interesting thing in your story. What I can relate to, and what happened to me is I constantly look for ways of breaking the code in my life, and I think that everything that I achieved, and maybe some of them are dreams come true completely, and some of them are still in the happening, but it's all about breaking the code. And that's why I really loved the first 2 days of this challenge that you're holding. And I just found out that this is the very first challenge that you are doing, which is extraordinary. It's amazing, and I hope there'll be many more. I think that this should be like a school module in school, or in the university.
Oh, thank you very much.
The moment you grow up and get out of the house, and you know, independent from your parents, you should go through this module and clear your head, and then have, you know, amazing life. Because to be honest with you, what I see, and I know it's possible, is to change everything. We have a choice to change everything.
Absolutely.
And it just takes a little bit of a different angle, different perspective. And guys, Suze is absolutely amazing. I actually won a session with Suze, which we had a couple of weeks ago. I did another challenge, and this was the prize. And when I heard that I had a choice of prizes, I said, oh, I want to talk to Suze. And just in 1 hour, Suze just made me, with one sentence, made me see a decade of my life that I kind of resented in a completely different way. And from that moment on, I didn't have once a victim thought about that decade of my life. So yes, I'm so impressed. And I started thinking much more since then about this changing perspective, thinking about things from a little different angle. That's what you're doing in your challenge, don't you?
Yeah.
So guys, just to kind of bring you in a little bit, what Suze is talking about. Suze has this concept that she calls them guardians. So that's what I want to just what are the guardians, and how do they rule our life?
Yeah, so what I talk about the bodyguard system, and the bodyguards are the people that we set up in our life to defend the way that we have figured out how life will work for us. So in the first 7 to 9 years of our life, we experience a lot of things, some good, some bad, doesn't really matter. And from all these experiences, we create habits, and we create a bodyguard system. And that bodyguard system is helping us to stay safe. And it was helping us when we were very young to stay safe in a situation that was right there. And that bodyguard, or those bodyguards, sometimes they're multiple, help us to defend the system that we created, so that we won't divert too much from it, because that would be unsafe. So through all our experiences, we create habits, and we create this very great working system that keeps everything in place and keeps everything in order and keeps us functioning. So it's really good that we do that. The problem is, when we grow up, sometimes we want things to work out differently than when we were 7 or 9 or whatever. And at that point, we have practiced that bodyguard system so intensively and so securely, it's very difficult to change, because it feels like I cannot change that because this is who I am. So the bodyguard system doesn't feel like a system that you have any choice over. It feels like this is who I am. I am not good with money. That's what people say, right? I'm not good with money, or I just have to spend my money. That's just who I am. I just like buying new clothes. That's just who I am. But these are just patterns that we have identified with so much that if you want to change your results, your bodyguard just won't let you, because different results mean a different system. And that was not what he was defending.
That's so true. And guys, when we're talking about bodyguards, when Suze is talking about bodyguards, this is everything. This is a system of beliefs. We're not talking about guardian angels or anything like that.
No.
It's not a woo thing. But at the end of the day, yes, everything comes down to your beliefs. An interesting observation. So if you tend to say, this is just who I am, that could be a red flag. Think twice.
Totally. That's the biggest red flag there is.
I think
we like, the thing is, we like knowing who we are. Some people, if you're anything like me, then you must recognize this. Some people really make an effort of understanding who they are. So we want to know who we are. We want to know how we react so that we can say, hey, this is predictable. This is who I am. This is who I am not. And this is just how I have to deal with life. And that's all bullshit. It's just all bullshit.
It's true. I believe in transfer. You know what? Actually, I'm like you to an extent. So I hear when you're saying, I want to know how I am, and I want to know what's part of me. But with me, I'm all about transformation, and everything in my life is always transformation. Whether it's travel to another country or it's always changing and reinventing yourself. So in that respect, I want to know it so I can change it if it's not good enough.
Yeah. But you want to know it, and you want to be able to change it, and you want some control.
Of course.
Yeah, exactly. Like you, I think we're very similar. I have moved 14 times in 43 years.
That's
great. And the house where I'm living now, I'm already living there for 11 years. So actually, I've moved 13 times in 31 years. I think you have a similar record.
This is my fourth country of residence, but obviously moving within the country, yes. But it's the fourth country, but it's not the last one. And for the last 18 years, I live in this country. But the moment I crossed the border, I said to myself, not my thing. Yeah. In much worse language than that.
But Juliette, so your bodyguard has built a system of we can always leave.
No, not that. It's like it was more than this is not the destination. I know where my destination is, and this is not it. This is just the step. And the bodyguard knows because when I was growing up, my bodyguard knew that I have to travel to meet my other half. I did, and my other half was here, So that's how, and we were saying that I commented earlier, I said, I know that my bodyguard knows my dreams can come true. It's a status, it's happened before. So it's just figuring out what uncomfortable position to put yourself in next in order for this to happen, because everything always happens in a different way than you plan.
That's just a fact of life. That's just a fact.
But it's very interesting. One question I have for you. When something feels that it's not working out and we start getting really hard on ourselves, and then we try and do, we say we need to work harder on this. Does that ever work?
Never, because if you start working harder, you just start doing more of what doesn't work. So what works is to think, hey, this is not working. Let's see where I either lack information, where I'm either using the wrong system, or where I'm having beliefs that are keeping the results from the right system out of my life. Because sometimes you're doing the right things, you're saying the right things, but your energy is not with it. And that sounds very woo, I know, but for instance, I give 1 hour workshops. And if I have a great energy and I really feel like, I have so much to give and I am there for the people, and my only concern is if they will move forward, and that is the energy in which I give the 1 hour workshop, 50% of the room signs up for my 2-day event. If I give the workshop with the energy in my mind of, I really need more people in the 2-day workshop, I hope they will sign up. I'm not really sure if this time it will work. Maybe in this location, people are a little bit, and I get worried about whether they will or will not be enthusiastic and continue working with me. I have 20% sign up.
Wow, I know.
And it's a big difference. It's less than half. And it's just the energy. So it's not what I say, because I say the exact same thing every single time. It's not what I do. It's not the things I do. It's who I believe that I can be at that point and what I am actually focusing on in that moment. Now, it's very easy to tell people, oh, just not focus on yourself. But that's not that easy, is it?
Sometimes, I've only this year had this clarity moment of taking myself out of the whole equation. And a couple of people, maybe even yourself, mentioned this to me, and I was saying, what do you mean? I was told you're making it all about yourself. When I was saying that, oh, I don't know how to do this in my business, I don't know how to do this, they said to me, you're making it about yourself. You need to take yourself out of this. And one morning I just realized I know how. I just have to focus on helping this person right here, right now. I actually don't care if they sign up with me or not. And I never had a no on a discovery call because I'm not focusing on signing up the person. Yeah, and this is...
You're focused on helping. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel so fulfilled. I don't even, to an extent, of course, at some level I do care because I need to feed my family. But on the other hand, I don't care because I can see the person's face glowing and I'm like, oh, I just did it. Exactly. It's brilliant.
Exactly. And if you understand why it's so important for you to focus on yourself and what is causing that, and you understand the pattern, then you can really interrupt the pattern every single time you choose to, and it will never interrupt your stuff without you even noticing it, because that's the danger. If you don't know the pattern, then it will interrupt anyway.
Brilliant. And am I right to say that the challenge that you're running right now is if you implement all your advice and do all the homework, that actually will help you
absolutely
break that? So
yes.
Where can people join? We're definitely going to also drop the link, guys. But
yes, it's very simple. If you join my group, Money Mindset Strategies for Heart-Centered Entrepreneurs, we'll drop the link in the comment. If you join that group, then the challenge is there. It's just there live. So 9 a.m. Central European time every morning and 5 p.m. Central European time every afternoon. I am there live doing the challenge. And if you want to be tagged, then please just ask me to tag you so that I can invite you. But I kind of thought, oh, well, it's not that much people, so I can just tag everyone, but it's getting more people every single day. So I end up doing my best, but I am there live, and just follow the lives or watch the replays. And that's the challenge.
Perfect. We're going to drop the links, and after I'm going to go offline, I'm going to coach Suze how to make it easy to send everybody notifications on your challenges. If you want to know, get in touch with me.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Julie. I really would appreciate that.
I love when things are easy. Things has to be easy in life, and that's why we have automation. That's why we need to embrace the technology available to us. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We were talking today to Suze Maclaine Pont, the money harmony coach, and that's exactly what she is. And she is a wonderful woman with a great spirit, and definitely, if you don't know her, if that's the first time you see her, join her group. You will not regret that. Suze, thank you so much again for joining me today.
Thank you so much, Juliet.
And guys, we will see you in the challenge.
Yes.
Bye, everybody. Have a great day.